Welcome to the Fast Lane Lifestyle. I'm Asafa Powell, and we're at the lounge at the Spanish Court Hotel. Beautiful spot, Big up to them for giving us this spot. And we have on the podcast today none other than the man, Noah Lyles, world champion. Big up yourself. Respect. Thanks for coming on our podcast. I remember when I don't think it was the first podcast, but we dropped a podcast and I think you were the first comment on it. Yo, you need to get me on. You need to get me on this. Yeah, man. So thanks for reaching out and really appreciate you.
Nah, bro, I appreciate you for having me, man. Nah, yeah, it was the one with Elaine.
Yeah.
On it, and I saw it, and I was because at the time I was working on my own, podcasts and the whole YouTube channel, and I just really loved what y'all was talking about. I felt it was like a real conversation.
Yeah, man.
Which can be kind of difficult to get when you're with journalists.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So I was like,
So
I want to be a part of a
Yeah.
real conversation.
Yeah, and that's what I like about, having our own, own way of putting our message out there.
Yeah.
You have your own podcast now, you have your own channel.
Yeah.
I've been watching you. You seem to be getting a lot of love on your
Nah,
channel.
yeah. We have been. I actually was literally just watching over the next video that we're about to post. We just put the trailer out for the Adidas Street Meet, and we recorded that, and it's going to be coming out Sunday. I don't know what that is in reference to when this is going to be dropping, but it's going to be. It'll probably be out by then.
Yeah, man. So that's good, man. You guys can't see, but Noel has this big team set up behind him.
Yeah.
Shooting his documentary, and what's that about?
Hey, man, I've just come into too many situations where there are not enough of our stories being told. And I'm a firm believer of making sure that everybody gets, somewhat of their story told. Last year, I was watching the career of Marvin Bracey. He was dealing with injuries all season, barely making it. And then finally, he would just be able to show up for trials. He made the world indoor team. Then he got a medal at World Indoors. Then the same thing happened at outdoor. He's getting injured, somehow makes the team. And then he grabs, silver at World Championships. And it's like, why is nobody telling these stories?
Nobody don't know. Nobody knows.
Exactly. And they're not hard to find out, The track world knows about them. They're just not getting out there.
Just the outside world. They have no idea. And,
Yeah.
I realize that you're posting, a lot of like workout stuff, like you're bringing people into our zone, letting them see what we do. I mean, not showing everything, but, I'm letting them understand that it's not just 9 seconds or 19 seconds. There's a lot that goes on and it's good that we have this platform we can tell our story. We don't have to wait until somebody pick bits and pieces.
Hope that somebody realizes.
You know what I mean?
What you're
So,
doing.
I really love that, we can create our own thing because people see us on the track, they don't know our real personality.
Yeah.
They have no idea that we can talk, that we can laugh and stuff like that we're human beings.
Laugh, joke, cry.
Yeah, man. So, I really love that, we have this. So, and I really have to tell you, thanks again for coming on, man.
Hey,
really
bro.
appreciate it, You're upcoming, man. You make me feel so old.
Man, I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to make you feel old.
Make me feel so old, man. But you've been showing a lot of respect, and even for reaching out to me, I in return, have a lot of respect for you.
I appreciate that.
And I don't think I got that when I started running. I think the athletes that retired, I think they felt like they were still competing. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't feel that same type of love, from the athletes that retired and gone out of the sport. I mean, Frankie Fredericks, is a real cool guy. Otto Bowl and Linford Christie. A lot of those guys really showed love. Maurice Green is really cool as well.
No, he really is.
He's really cool. But I feel like a lot of the other athletes just didn't. I think they probably didn't want to give up on
their throne.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you recently became the record holder in the 200 meters for US, right?
Yeah. The American record holder.
The American record holder. I have to get used to some of the records.
Terms.
The terms and thing,
So, everybody has their own.
Yeah, exactly. So how did that feel, man?
To be honest, it was straight out of a movie. Like the more and more I explain it to different people, they're just like, "That all happened?" It's like, "Yeah, it's like it happens." We're going through the rounds, and there's this huge rivalry between me and Arion.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy was in my head, it's like, hey, if Arion didn't beat me at USA's, he's not gonna get another chance. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was into we're focusing on peak performance now. Um, Going into USA's, I had COVID. I was coming off of it. Anything could have happened. And I already had the bye, so I was really just trying to get my lungs back and
Mm-hmm.
everything. We're at Worlds. I've gone through relay camp. And I'll tell you that relay camp for USA, it definitely helped me because I'm getting the baton from Christian Coleman, and one of the, no
Yeah,
offense
yeah,
to you,
yeah, yeah,
one of
yeah.
the
One of the
best
fastest
starters
artists. Yeah,
ever.
exactly,
Like
exactly.
Christian Coleman is
Yeah, yeah,
another great starter.
yeah.
And you seeing that man come zip around the turn, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
man.
I gotta go. Like I'm not trying to get caught. I'm not gonna be the one to mess up the pass.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it really honed up that top end speed really quickly. Then we're getting to we're at Worlds and we're doing our last few days of preparation. My coach is over here like, yeah, go ahead and shut it down. Shut it down. Coach, don't you see me? I got all this energy. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
shut it down. Shut it down. You're done. It's like, so I'm anxious. We get to the first round. I'm jumping across the line, hop, skipping, and jumping. And, I get the backlash from my
Yeah, yeah,
mom and my
yeah.
coach after that. He's like, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. We are at Worlds. It's not the time to play around. But in my head, I'm just like so full of energy because
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
what I
yeah.
love to do. This is
Yeah.
what I prepared the whole year
And
for.
let's not forget you're young.
Exactly. And I'm young. Yeah. And I'm young. So I can get away with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But they were right. And, I listened to them because I brought this, I trust my team. So I need to trust them now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I let them put me on the, on the rope. They reeled me back in. We go into the second round, no emotions, only a job to do. Get in, get out. Hit the 19.6. And I'm like, shoot, 19.6. I didn't even feel like I was running that fast.
Yeah.
Like that's, in my head, I'm like, gosh, darn it. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be, y'all in trouble. We finally get to the final day. We're warming up. Everything just felt right. The sun came out. It was 73 degrees. There was like zero wind. I'm like, yo, today's the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's it.
It's a great
I'm
track.
not here just to run the win. I'm gonna run fast. Like I know it.
Mm-hmm.
The energy in the track was beyond electric. And that was truthfully my first major track meet where they had a big crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Doha. There was no, there was really no crowd there. And then you go to Tokyo, pandemic. There's really nobody in the stands. So, 2022 World Championships, that was the first time of being in a stadium that was that excited that their World Championships here,
as well.
and it's on home soil.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're coming out, fixing the blocks. I have this huge calm composure. I just remember the last thing that my coach said is like, as soon as the gun goes off, release the beast. I'm like, I got you. And I love it when my coach tells me to like go all out. Cause he knows that at any point, if he allows me, I'll go and tear something fierce into my competition or into the race, but he usually doesn't let me. And so whenever he's like, all right, this is the moment, I know that something amazing is going to happen. The gun goes off and I'm taking my first 2 steps. And already I was like, this race is over. I felt a start that I'd never felt before, which is crazy because everybody knows me to not be that great of a starter.
You can feel it,
yeah. And I was just like, this is it. I'm coming around the turn and I have really good, sensory, auditory, that feel that somebody's on your shoulders, listening to heart or not heartbeats, but the breath, steps of other competitors. And I hear silence. And I'm like, I've never really felt this before. Usually, feel somebody there, but I didn't feel anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's put the hammer down. And I just keep going and I'm running and I'm running. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking flying. Like I know that I'm running fast. Usually you can't tell.
Yeah.
If you're running fast or not. Sometimes
it's
when
just when you're going, Sometimes when you're going real fast,
it's just like, oops. Oh, I did that.
Yeah.
But this moment I felt
it.
I felt it. And I also felt me reach my top end speed and lose it.
Okay.
I've never got to the top end and gone back down. Because the saying, once you reach top end, the only place to go is stay or go down.
Yeah.
I hit it, stayed, and I was dropping. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, I just gotta hold my form here and run through the line. And why is my back bending so much? And all of a sudden I feel like this.
Lactic acid coming in.
Lactic acid was coming. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, man,
And I
yeah,
crossed the line. I'm like, thank God that we got through that line.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's, I see the 1932. And first I was like, yeah, that's the time I want to say. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
32.
Yeah,
Like Michael
1932,
Johnson's
yeah.
time. I don't want to tie his time because
You want
I
it better.
know that if I tie it, it's not going to be my
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
It's going to stay his record
Yeah.
because he already had his big moment to this time. So I know it won't be mine. It'll just forever be,
Yeah,
oh, how did you feel that you tied Michael Johnson's record?
Exactly.
It's not like,
it's not yours, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I really need this clock to change. I don't care if you go up or down, but I need you to change. So I'm staring at it for probably about like 10 seconds. Doesn't want to
Yeah.
move. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
I
man,
just
yeah,
gotta
man.
thank God for this amazing moment. Go down, thank God, stand up. And if you watch the video, I like start to almost let down the zipper a little bit. That was the prep for the ripping of the jersey. But then I hear the crowd go into an uproar. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, why is everybody yelling? Did Mondo just break the world record again?
Mhm.
And I look up at the scoreboard and it changed from a 2 to a 1. And I just lost it.
Yeah, man.
Like
yeah,
literally
man.
a movie.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like that's literally just
Yeah,
written.
man. Yeah, man.
And I'm just like, that happened to me.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
Man, I can say that for me was one of the best performances, at the World Championships. And as an athlete, I will notice a lot of things. First thing I notice is um your technique. Your technique has changed. I think your technique changed from the year before.
It changes every year.
You know?
But in the good way. It's always adding something to it.
Like you seem a lot more effortless, on the
Mhm.
on the straightaway coming down. And your confidence is through the roof, man. And talking about your confidence, I really have to ask you about, your childhood growing up, because it has to stem from somewhere. You can't just get confident out of nowhere.
Well, what's crazy is I was not very confident as a kid.
No?
I mean, if we start from very young, the story, I was born in Gainesville, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, diagnosed with severe asthma very early on. I was constantly in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
being on, breathing machines, they're giving me steroids to make sure that my lungs just work well. And that went all about from like 2 years old to about 8 years old till we eventually leave Gainesville. I had to have surgery, got my tonsils pulled, my
Mm-hmm.
adenoids removed as well. That's only when it just started getting, okay, I can now play sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I was good at sports.
Mm-hmm.
Both my parents were runners, fast. I knew it. I knew I was athletic.
Yeah.
You're not just fast, you also can move around. You know.
Yeah.
And we moved to North Carolina, and I didn't go straight into sports. I went into, the arts, drawing, painting, stuff like that. I was determined I was gonna be an artist. I was gonna make comic books.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
knew it. And I went to an art school. They were specifically made, great, performers, actors, dancers, artists, all this other stuff. And then my parents got divorced, and we ended up moving I went with my mom to DC area. And that's when track and field really took off.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I didn't have the arts anymore. So I was just like, well, I might as well just jump into track,
Yeah.
And I was a high jumper.
What?
Yeah, high jumper. I was really good too.
Usually you see somebody moving from like the 400 down to like sprints or from the hurdles, but high jump?
High jump. I was really good. I was known as like the jump kid. I tried long jump, but I didn't like that you could just constantly just foul. Like I felt like if you weren't on your good day, a foul would just show up constantly. I was like, I don't like that. But I could control the high jump a lot more. So I was like, I just fell in love with it. Yeah. And that was good. I did that all the way through high school. My greatest claim to fame for high jump is that I beat Grant Holloway.
Yeah.
Because Grant also did high jump. He was a 7'1" high jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my highest was not that.
Yeah,
I was a 6'8" high
that's
jumper.
what in our terms. 7'1" is like two what 20 something, 230 something,
No, I think it's lower than that. I think it's
two
2.1,
point one.
I wanna say.
Oh. Well, I don't know. We
2.1,
use different.
yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But
but yeah,
that's different though.
yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
like I said, usually you don't find high jumpers because high jumpers are normally pretty slow. You know,
Yeah,
not
but,
fast. You know, but
it
you know, I mean, I can see where you get your confidence from going through,
well,
asthma
yeah, I
and
got
doing
it.
surgery and
Yeah,
coming up
there's
through a lot of things. You know, that will make you tough.
to be honest,
Do you still draw?
it was the high school that kinda made me tough. I
Oh, okay.
wasn't I have dyslexia and ADD,
Mm-hmm.
so it was very hard to go through school. So, truthfully, sports was my way out. And it was the only thing that really kept me in school. Like, I had to do well in school to do sports.
Oh,
So it
okay.
was a,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
constant
yeah.
buffer. And I didn't really interact with, school life. All I cared about was sports because, me and my brother had a dream to go to the Olympics in
Oh, okay.
2016.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where I just constantly got this confidence of, I'm going to make this dream a reality.
Your
And
brother is younger or older?
he's 1 year younger.
1 year younger.
Yeah, yeah.
And he wants to beat you,
1 year, 5 days.
right? He wants to beat you, right?
Oh, of course. Well, who doesn't want to beat me? But no, he's my first
Yeah,
competitor.
yeah. But I mean, I know it's all love, though. You know,
No, it
definitely.
definitely is.
Yeah, man. I want to. I hope I don't get you in trouble, but
Nah.
I remember 2019. When I first saw you in person. I first met you in person. We were at a party. Me and my wife.
Yeah.
We were at a party and we were like in the VIP booth thingy. And my wife was like, "Isn't that the runner guy?" I'm like, "Where?" She was like, no, Noah Lyles. That's the runner guy." And I look, I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yo, my friend, go get him. Go get him.
Yeah.
He can't be standing out there. Go get him." And you came up and you were pretty cool and having fun, but you seem to love Jamaican women. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's something. I don't know if there's something, but I think your girlfriend now is Jamaican.
She is. She is Jamaican.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with you last 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and
Yeah. 2 weeks
you
ago.
kept talking about your girlfriend and stuff like that. And I told my wife that yo, he's talking about his girlfriend a lot. He must love her.
Nah, yeah, we
So
have a very
you
strong
can thank me
connection.
later for.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, this sport that we love, we want to make it better, and we're always
Mm.
trying to find a way to make it better. And I see you doing something that I've always wanted to do, in the sport.
Mm.
And I mean, I'm gonna touch on how to make the sport better in
Yeah.
a little bit, but you fashion, like you're
Mm.
bringing in fashion in the sport, and a lot of the other sports, the fashion is there,
Mhm.
but when you think of it, like at the Olympic Games, the biggest sport at the Olympic Games is track and field.
Yep.
But when it comes to anything else, track and field is like at the bottom of the plate. It's not
Yeah.
it's not up there with the other
Yeah, no,
sports.
it's not.
So I think track and field can be a lot better, and I think what you're trying to do as well, making the sport a lot more fashionable. It's not just tights and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I mean, what made you want to do that?
There's a lot of reasons, even from when I first joined the sport.
Mhm.
And so I'm gonna give a little bit of Adidas history. The Adidas brand is kind of broken up into two different brands. You have the performance logo, which is the triangle one, and then you have the performance. Or
Mhm.
my bad, the originals
Mhm.
is the truffle oil, the flower looking one, and then the performance is the triangle, and all the sports are under the performance, which is the triangle. And we go to press conferences, and they only want us to wear that logo,
Mhm.
and I was just like, why? Like, all the cool stuff is on the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
wanna look cool when I
Yeah,
show up to a press
yeah.
conference. You look at basketball players, you look at
Yeah,
football players,
exactly.
soccer, they
Yeah,
they look cool when they show up. They
exactly,
wearing suits and
exactly.
stuff like that. I wanna present
Mhm.
like I'm the man.
Mhm.
And I was just so flabbergasted in that moment that I couldn't bring on that image. And from then, I was just like, there got to be a way to, push that. Like we can find a common balance somewhere.
Yeah.
And probably the beginning of 2023, just knew that this year was going to be the year that we could bring in, the fashion, the walk-ins. You see it in basketball all the time. They just had the NBA final first game,
Yeah.
and all you see is what they're wearing. I didn't see anything about the
it's what they're
game
wearing,
for
yeah,
hours,
yeah.
but I saw so many outfits. I felt like I was a part of the game. And I'm like, how do us as track and field, one of the popular Olympic sports, get to this side? How do we reach the fans that we know are there? Because everybody does track.
Yeah.
If you go up to anybody in the world, they're gonna tell you, I did track and field.
Everybody did track
middle
when they're
school,
young.
high
Yeah.
school, preschool,
Yeah.
like whatever you want to call it. They have a track story. So there is a love there.
Yeah.
How do we reach that? And if you can't do it by what we've been doing, all right, let's find a new way. These walk-ins, clothes, fashion brands, bringing in other competitors. I was recently talking to somebody who said that they knew the guy who created the walk-ins for the NBA.
Yeah.
And she was telling me that when they first started, it was just, one guy taking pictures. And now it's
a
businesses calling him to say, hey, we want to put an ad in the walk-in. How much can we pay you? Now, how much can you pay it? We talk about, wanting to bring in more money to the sport. If we get other brands coming in just to put ads in the walk-in, shoot, we got a thing going here.
That's more money in the sports.
Exactly. But that right there, the idea of how do we reach the other people is really what constantly just pushes me to be like, let's do stuff like the walk-ins.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? It's Asafa Powell, and I want to say thanks to our sponsors at Manscaped. They help support our podcast. So make sure if you guys have any men's grooming needs, go check them out. They are the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off, free worldwide shipping with the code Powell at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 16 billion balls. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, thanks to their advanced skincare technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 4000K LED spotlight for a more precise shave. It's time to take care of yourself. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Powell at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Powell. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. I think more athletes should do this, because if you're the only one doing it, it's like, the other athletes are not interested.
Yeah.
So if there's a way to get other athletes to do stuff like this, then sponsors will be interested, because it's not just one person doing it. All the athletes, all the big name athletes, are doing stuff like this. So, I love track and field, and I'm sure you love it as well.
I
And
definitely
I
do.
definitely want to see the sports, evolve and, get a lot better, because, when the thing is, when you mention track and field, a lot of people will say Usain Bolt, but Usain Bolt has retired.
Yeah.
He's no longer in track and field. So, we have to find a way to, make track and field relevant, without Usain. And you're there, you have Fred Curley, coming on as well. So, we definitely need to find a different loophole
Yeah.
to get track and field up there with the footballs and stuff like that. I don't know if they need to pay more money, because a lot of money draws attention.
Of course.
So I think maybe that's another way, pay a
Yeah.
lot more money to the athletes,
It's a lot of different. Literally just watched or just looked at a tweet from Michael Johnson, and he was talking about, I want to be able to help the sport, but these are not simple answers. They're
Hmm.
complex answers that or questions that need complex answers. And I couldn't agree more. I Even with the walk-ins,
Hmm.
it seems very simple. You get a cameraman, you get the athletes, you give them a place to change, they walk in.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that's a heavy toll to ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to. He's like, well, why can't they just come in with the rest of our athletes? We're not trying to reach the rest of
Yeah,
the
man.
athletes.
I
These
know, I
athletes have
know, right?
shown that they have a personality that people want to see.
Yes.
Give them access to it.
Yes, a lot of them.
Um,
I realize a lot of them are showing it more now on the track.
yes.
And what we didn't have back in the day, showing my age again, we didn't have social media like
No,
that.
yeah.
So now there's social media to really, sell our story, sell
Mhm.
ourselves, out there, to the general public, to the fans, and I really would love to see it, and I'm gonna be talking about it a lot, and hopefully, you're gonna be shedding some light on it as well. And hopefully
Yeah.
they will, it will open
Yeah.
eyes,
Yeah,
you know.
I was very happy to see that at the Diamond League today,
Hmm.
up in Florence, they did two walk-ins. They
What?
they did a photo shoot in the hotel,
Hmm.
and then they actually created a walk-in. And I heard that there was a little bit of a
Nice.
struggle to try to get that together, but I was
Yeah.
really happy to see
Nice.
that they pulled it
I
together.
mean, I think it will get easy, once, they
Yeah,
start doing it, and they just need to, whoever do it for one other sport, just bring them into the
yeah,
sport, and, let them teach or
yeah.
show them how to do it. You know, you are, you're a big advocate for mental health,
Huge.
huge, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can talk to me about that. Recently we lost one of our athletes, and it's very sad,
Yeah.
very, very sad, So, maybe you can talk to us a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Tori Bowie,
Mm-hmm.
as most know, was a part of the Pure Athletics
Yeah,
training group, which
yeah.
is with Coach B. And she came when, she came to Coach B as a long jumper.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they threw her in 100 and they say, yeah, you can't be doing that no more. You need to start sprinting.
Yeah,
And I'd say by far one of the most talented athletes I ever saw.
yeah, yeah.
And
I agree. Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school and I watched her run at Prefontaine and won the race in lane one in the 200. And I was like, who is this person? And she brought attention. Of course, she had her own issues mentally. I'm really not at
Yeah, yeah,
a place to
yeah,
disclose her
yeah, yeah,
information,
yeah.
but she also struggled with mental health. I'm gonna put it like that. And it just a lot of people are saying that the sport failed her. And the only thing that I'm gonna say to that one is it's hard to help somebody who just doesn't want to help.
Mm-hmm.
Being here and supporting their families right now is the most you can do. Reach out and do try to give support. Um, but the situation is
Yeah,
it's sad
yeah,
because she was very loved in our group, and it was very heartbreaking when she told us that she was going to leave the group.
yeah,
We all, coach begged her to stay,
yeah.
but she said that
Mm-hmm.
the conditions for her to
Yeah.
stay that coach had put on her, she said that she
Yeah,
didn't
but
feel comfortable with
but I,
anymore,
f-
and
I find
that
that I
was.
find that in the sports, in the sport, like people don't understand how tough you have to be mentally,
No.
to be in the sports. Like people are so hard on the athletes, when they don't perform. Like they think athletes should perform. Whenever you go on the track, you run 1931. They think you're gonna run 1931 all
Every
the
day.
time, every day. So people don't get that. That's why I say I like that you show people the struggles that you go through before
Mhm.
you go on the track, because it's a struggle. Training is
Oh, yeah.
training is a struggle, man. You feel like you're gonna die out there, and you have to be strong, mental to go through that training, and I myself, I've through the years, over the years, I've been going through, a lot of, disappointments and
Mhm,
stuff like that. And people always ask me, how do I, bounce back,
mhm.
from it, and that's why I think people don't understand how tough you have to, how strong you have to be mentally,
Yeah.
you know. And I mean, I'm sure you face a lot of it
Oh,
as well, you know.
yeah. I mean, I just told you my whole life story earlier. I
Yeah.
mean, I think even with the asthma, it's
Mhm.
set me up for knowing how life will be. Dealing with it early on, my mom would always say, "This is not how your life is going to be,"
Mhm.
all the time. Of course, as a kid, it's very hard to conceptualize that idea that just because you're in a bad spot now doesn't mean that you're going to be like this for the rest of your
Yeah.
life. But since I learned that so young, I now instill it to everything in my life. I can go into a situation and have a bad race, and I know that just because this race is bad doesn't mean the next one's going to be bad. Or just because I had one, mess up in practice doesn't
Mhm.
mean that the next practice is going to
Yeah,
produce the same
exactly.
thing.
Mhm.
Or just because I'm depressed and taking medication doesn't mean I'm going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
I fully went in to, to getting on the medication for antidepressants, knowing that eventually I would come off
Mhm.
because I caught it early enough. Because a lot of people don't understand that if you let it fester for too long, then you won't be able to come off it. But
Oh,
if you
okay.
catch it early,
Yeah.
you can knock it out. You can get back on top of yourself, get your head back above water, get your chest above water, and all of a sudden you got the skills to handle it and you can keep moving.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I truly believe that people don't believe that athletes are human.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
They
No.
see us as what we are on TV, and that's nice, and then the
Mhm.
glitz and
Mhm.
the glam, and it's fun,
Mhm.
but it's only a moment. It's a
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
small moment,
Mhm.
which is also why I think we celebrate so hard.
Mhm.
I had so many people talk about, "Oh, you ripped the shirt, the jersey, and you're unpatriotic. How could you do that? You know how many people died for that flag?
Yeah.
It's a jersey.
Yeah. So
It's
Jersey,
not
you
even a
get
real
yeah.
flag.
Yeah.
That's plastic."
Man.
But the reason that I'm celebrating so
Mhm.
hard is I trained my whole year
Yeah.
for this
For one
one
moment,
moment.
1 to 90 seconds.
I sacrificed eating. I
Yeah.
sacrificed watching TV, going out, having fun
Mhm.
with your friends. Sacrifice sleep. I'm in bed early, waking up,
For this
putting my
one
body
moment.
through pain,
Mhm.
pure pain, just so I can have one 19-second run
Yeah.
and be able to celebrate that. Even if even if I didn't accomplish that, I'd still be celebrating because I made it through.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not always about making the accomplishment. Because I can come back next year,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I need to get through this year to make sure that it can happen to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah. So how do you find the balance, what are your I mean, I remember you said
Yeah,
you like painting and stuff like
yeah.
that. But aside from track and field, like what are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Man, I
I
got
remember
so
I remember I saw you, I
I
remember I
got a
saw you
ton.
dancing.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
you dancing in Bermuda. So
Yeah, I got a ton of hobbies.
yeah.
I'm a huge artist, love to make music. I love to create stories.
Mhm.
Even now, media. I
Oh
actually
yeah,
love
yeah, you
media.
do music as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I love media.
Yeah.
And I know that's crazy because some people don't understand that,
Mhm.
but I truthfully see media as a challenge
Mhm.
because I know that not everybody is good at it. So I want to be the best that I can be at it so that I can share my story to everybody.
Yeah.
And finding new ways to share that gets me excited. If we go back to music, I like music because I like to tell stories.
Mhm.
And I feel that music helps me does that. I'm not trying to be a Grammy award
Yeah, yeah,
winning.
yeah, yeah. It's
I
just
just want to have a beat, make lyrics, rhyme a little, make you think in a way that you probably didn't think of, and then
mhm.
share it.
Mhm.
And that gets me excited.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's pretty cool. So with going back a little bit to track and field, because you know you there are a lot of things that you like to do that you have to give up,
Mhm.
for training. And a lot of people don't understand that, it's a huge investment.
Yeah.
You're investing so much time. It's one of the most risky investment, I think, because you can train all year and you go to the championships. There are so many things that can happen. You can fast start,
Yeah.
You can get injured in the warm up.
Easily.
You can get injured in the warm up.
Easily get injured in the
If you're running a relay, your
Mhm.
button can like there's so much that can go wrong, in the sport. So, it's a big investment, and there are some athletes who invest a lot of time and they don't get to reap anything from it.
Mhm.
The like our life. I think an athlete, like if you get 10 years out of the sports, that I think
That's an
that's
amazing career.
yeah, that's an amazing career. And some athletes, they give up a lot. They give up school, college, a lot of things like
Families.
that, and then they invest 5 years in the sport and get nothing,
Yeah.
and have nothing to fall back on. So, it's a huge risk, that we take as
Yeah, yeah.
athletes, so that's why, when it comes to like mental health, people really need to pay more attention, to things like that, because it can't be so hard on the athletes all the time. I know,
Yeah.
I know, you have some people are very fanatic. They're crazy about sports,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
I
I'm I'm not even gonna act like I don't get into it. You know?
Mm.
You're watching Marcel Jacobs pull out of another race.
Exactly, but
I can't
man,
say that I
yeah,
wasn't, oh yeah, yeah, I expected that, yeah, I'm getting into it. I'm getting
yeah,
into, I wanted to see the duel.
yeah.
And then, a few days later, I thought to myself, dang, if I had to pull out of a race,
Hmm.
I would be so hurt. Because I know that there's no doubt in my mind that he wants to
Oh man,
race.
yeah, he's probably so ready.
He's
He
probably
was
so he's
so
probably
yeah,
so pissed at
yeah.
home that he has to watch on TV in his
Hmm.
home country that he
Yeah,
doesn't get to run.
yeah,
Like, I know he's upset
yeah,
because
man.
anytime that I'm injured and I have to watch TV and I gotta watch somebody in a lane that
In the
I
race that you're
knew
supposed to.
I was supposed to win.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I would be in the gym
Yeah,
that
man, yeah, man.
afternoon.
I even know I feel like that. Even though my
You're
wife
like,
was
who
like,
is this? Who
yeah.
let this person here? That's me.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. For real. To win the Olympics or to win the World Championships, and it really goes back to that, because you win Olympic Games or you win the Olympic Games, and then the next year, which is supposed to be the year that you're supposed to capitalize on all of
Mhm.
this, you can't get to do anything.
Yeah.
So I think, the athletes need some more money, and they need to just send some of that my way. Send some
Well,
my way.
you know,
They need something to fall back on, because if you get 2 years from the sports, you know,
yeah.
it's tough to see an Olympic champion doing a regular job somewhere, man.
So
So
I'm gonna give two theories, and I say theories because I have no data to back this up with. This is just what I have learned over my career. Usually, when I see somebody fall off of a championship year,
Mhm.
they had a great year and they come back. I usually figure out it's two things. One, they just didn't train and
Mhm.
they're riding the high, or they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
doing a lot of stuff and
Mm.
they forgot to do that. That's fine. But the one I think happens a lot is that they don't reinvest that
Mhm.
energy. The saying of what got you here won't keep you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got up to the Olympic champion. Okay. Did you reinvest in your medical?
Mhm.
Did you reinvest
Mhm.
in your mental state, your
Mhm.
health, your training? You like go up to your coach, hey, we had some issues last year. It
Mhm.
wasn't a perfect year.
Yeah.
We got a lot out of it, but we need to fix some things. Um, every year, I don't care if it's good or bad. Me and my team, we come back and I say, hey, this is what we did really well. This is what we did that we need to improve on
Mhm.
drastically. And I treat it like it's a life or death situation. And if you would see my medical bill, you probably might pass out because the amount of money that I spend on medical, because I truly know that if
Mhm.
I cannot stay healthy, I can't
Mhm.
perform.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
bottom line, in my career, all I want to do is stay consistent. I want to consistently be on that track because if I don't, the sport has a very
Yeah,
small
man.
attention span
Preach
and they
it.
will
Preach it.
forget me.
Yeah, man. It's true,
They might
man.
even forgive you and
Yeah.
you still run it.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes in the sport, and I'm happy that you mentioned that as well, because like on a yearly basis, the amount of money that us athletes spend at at physiotherapists, like
Mhm.
chiropractors, doctors. It's crazy, you
Yeah.
know. And like I said, you know, you're just giving advice. You're not saying that.
Yeah.
You're not
I'm not
saying
saying
that.
that this isn't what he's doing.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
are
You're just
just what
giving
I've seen
advice.
have been the
Yeah,
common things that
exactly.
happen to people who
So it's
fall.
just
Yeah,
advice.
like I
So you
said,
should take
theories. I
advice.
have no information to
Exactly.
base this off of.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So we'll leave it at that. But man, who are you off the track, man?
Off the
Who
track,
are you? Yeah, who are you off the
I'm
track?
Noah Lyles.
I
Like I
remember. Yeah,
know that's so
you
crazy to
know.
say, but when people comment, I want to be like you when I
Mhm.
grew up. I'm like, the first thing you have to do is be yourself.
Mhm.
Because I can only be me.
Yeah.
I enjoy being me. I go
Mhm.
out, I watch anime all day,
Mhm.
I build Legos, I go and buy clothes, I'll drive around in the car with my girlfriend, we'll
Yeah.
blast
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
I'll be geeky. I think, and it really shocks my coach, is that because I'm so myself, when I show up to the line and I'm happy and I'm giggling and
Mhm.
I'm able to high five fans, people are like, how could you be
Yeah.
so calm?
Yeah.
It's just like, this is just me. This is just my
Mhm.
personality. And I
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Which
me.
is right. Which is right.
And when I'm able to do that, I know that that gets into other people's heads. So it's another psychological war
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
you're going to look at me and be like, this guy ain't taking anything seriously. Best believe I have already planned out everyone's demolished.
Oh, so that means you're ready. That means you're ready for
That means
tomorrow.
I
That
am
means you're ready for
ready.
tomorrow.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Which is right, man. Which is right. But I mean, I'll really enjoy having you on here, man. Wife, you have a question for you.
Happens? Have you thought about what happens when you leave the track? Like
No, yeah,
where this guy is at?
I definitely have. I've So are we talking financial or just passion
Just in
wise?
general, yeah, in general.
So recently I have been getting really into this concept of I think I need to make a media outlet,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to commentating. We have all these commentators, but yet I see no fine details.
Mm-hmm.
Know that there is a place that track and field wants to go when the track meet's over and before it's over. And I've looked into other sports,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my favorite things to do is watch people analyze. There's really no analyzation. And
Mm-hmm.
I hear constantly see Michael Johnson like, where are the analyzation? Where are the talk shows? Where are all this? And I agree that there's nobody going into where's the place for the deep fans to go? We can attract the normal fans by
Mm-hmm.
doing, the walk-ins and having intro music and stuff like that. But we do need a place for the die-hard fans to go, that they want to see the data points. They want
Mm-hmm.
it to be broken down. And then also being able to get that new air into the sport. We have a lot of new talent, a lot of new personalities. But how are we supposed to know about them? Are we going to wait
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
article that some random track and
Mm-hmm.
field news outlet
So-called
does?
journalists or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
when they choose
That's
their
true. Yeah.
story, it's like, let's hear about the old, let's hear about the new, let's
Mm-hmm.
hear about the well goings, let's hear about the bads. And I just constantly struggle with having the conversation of, so is this the year that you break the world record? Man, can I enjoy last year?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
You're not
talk
even
about
thinking about that.
let's just talk about what I'm focused on right
Yeah.
now. Or let's talk about the cool things that I'm doing not on the track,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I'm talking to my agent. I'm like, I think we need to do this. I think we really need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bar is just too low. And I'm ready to, throw it up in the air.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So that as far as like when my passion sense, it would be that.
Yeah.
Money wise, I've been working with a CBA since I was first entered the sport,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom is my momager, which is my manager and
Momager.
mom.
Momager.
Yeah,
I like that.
and we have done a very good job of
Mhm.
making sure that we're set up. We have a lot of different portfolios with a
Mhm.
lot of different money is put into building wealth, equity. Me and my brother have owned our own house for about 4 or 5 years now.
Mhm.
We're planning on buying another one, so we're getting into realty.
Nice.
We've
Nice.
done these almost like life insurance policies that
Yeah.
are made to, gain wealth over time. A lot of the things that you would probably hear when you're 50 and 60,
Mhm.
we're hearing about now.
Yeah, yeah.
And thankfully, we have the funds to be able to go into that. So even if you don't like dealing with, money, because
Yes,
I don't,
yes,
I
yes.
really don't.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that I'm going to be well taken care of after I'm done with track. That makes me feel good. And that makes me
Yeah,
want to go
man.
run faster because I hear, oh, if you put more money in, let me go run real quick.
Yeah.
All right, what does this get me?
Yeah.
That idea. And that's hard to talk about because you have to find the right
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Being
Exactly.
very safe with
Mhm.
who you put your trust in. I'd say is
Yeah, when it comes to money, it's
very
hard
important.
to trust with
It
money.
is,
And
it is
you
very
seem
hard.
to have a good family background, with your mom, doing all that stuff, and
I
your
have a
brother.
really good
I see,
team.
yeah, I see your brother that is a big supporter as well.
Yeah.
And my wife always asks me stuff like this, always asks me, even before I retired, what are you gonna do? What? So
Well, shoot,
I'm
why
not,
don't you tell me what you're gonna do?
I mean, no.
Because you
I've
tell
been-
me some things,
Huh?
but I don't know.
I've been doing. I mean, for one,
Yeah.
All right, so
You told me some.
before
You sprinkled
I
some
retired,
ideas.
yeah, before I retired, I've been doing real estate and I'm buying, a lot of real estate, and stuff like that. But I might be. All right, I'm getting into coaching. That's what you want me to say. That's what you want me to say. Yeah, she wants me to do coach. Yeah, so she wants me to be like a technical coach because,
how
like you
much-
said, I'm one of the best starters.
How much I
out
gotta pay
there,
for you to teach me how to start?
So
Hey, I got 50 grand right now.
I'm available.
How much you trying to teach me?
I'm available, man. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, thanks for having for coming on. Of
course.
You want more
Oh,
questions?
one more.
Jeez. Oh
Yeah,
man.
one more. So, knowing everything that you've gone through and where you are now, if you could say something to little Noah when the sickly kid who didn't have confidence and didn't know that today was you were going to be where you are today, what would you say to him?
I get asked that question a lot, and it's always the same. It's truly just keep doing what you're doing. Because I did everything that I needed to do. And the life that I'm living now is actually more than I could have imagined. Truly, when I was that young, all I wanted to do was run. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to draw and run. And I didn't care. One of the funniest things that I think I made up was I used to tell this joke and it'd be like, man, Adidas paid me a huge contract to go run. Suckers, I would have done it for free. Because I truly would have.
You love running that much?
I love running that much. It's just that enjoyable to me. I don't know what it is about going through pain, going through hardships, and making it out of it to see a better outcome.
That's why you're so confident.
That's why
you're so confident out there. And that's real good because when disappointment, if disappointment comes your way, like you just brush it off easy because you're that confident and that strong mentally.
Yeah.
So no more questions. This man, listen to me.
But yeah,
listen to me.
that's the reason.
I have more questions, but this man is going to do big things,
I appreciate that.
in the upcoming years. So we'd love to have him back on
I'll
our
definitely
platform, and
let me know.
wifey will be on it. And
Yeah,
then,
I was shocked when
and
you weren't sitting down.
Hopefully, another Jamaican lady will be on it as well.
What?
It's a double date.
It's brilliant to have the two of you sit down and talk as two, great athletes. I mean, sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Former athletes.
No, he's still an athlete, man. Look at
I'm
this
still
body.
fit. Look
Did
at
I
my
not
foot.
just see you like cleaning like 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
man,
Like,
yeah, man.
right.
I still.
He wakes up at like 5 a.m. He's training like he's about to go and run. So I'm like,
I believe
you're
it.
retired, right?
Yeah, I work out. I still work out.
Yeah.
I have to stay in shape.
Hey, you gotta be a fit coach.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be one of those fat
I have
coaches.
I have to demonstrate.
Yeah, you gotta be able to demonstrate what you want.
Exactly. But yeah, man, for real, man.
No problem, man.
Thanks for coming on our platform, man.
I
And wish you all the best. Wish you all the best in your race tomorrow.
Thank you.
And guys, be sure to follow us on all platforms. I'm not on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. And what's your YouTube?
It's Olympian Noah Lyles.
Olympian
Super
Noah Lyles. So
simple,
guys, go
super
check.
sweet.
Yeah, guys, go check him out. Olympian Noah Lyles. Yeah, man. Big up and respect, guys, and don't miss a beat.